Cool. We're live, and I'm about it. Hello, everybody. I'm hoping everyone can hear me. It looks like my mic sounds good. But yeah, welcome to the very first of hopefully many Simple Edit Sessions live streams. We are going to be going over how to treat, or rather, how to edit a travel highlight video. So, without further ado, let's get started. We're going to be editing Earthen in Premiere. And as you can see in this bottom corner right here, I have my keyboard layout, so that way you guys can kind of follow along with what buttons I'm pressing. If you did not get a chance to see this live, then I'm also recording this for posterity's sake, and it's also for my interns for the future as well. So, we're going to get started here. Paid for in pizza. Hilarious. That's another thing I'm working on right now. Some of you might know about it. Um, but we're not going to talk about that today. Today we're going to talk about Utah, and the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to select the destination path for our new project. Is this class cross-listed on YouTube? No, this isn't on YouTube. I'm actually going to record it and then upload this to YouTube. But I'm always going to be live here on Facebook because it's just a bit easier. So we're going to select Utah, and we're going to call this Utah, if I know how to spell, highlight travel film. Cool. I'm also going to do this and do some like, there we go. Give myself some light on my face so you can see my beautiful face. So, got this, got that, cool. So today we're going to be editing using Premiere. We're going to be going over how I import. I already have some music pre-selected because trust me, that's actually like the hardest part is trying to find good freaking music that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Um, and yeah, so the very first thing we're going to do, I should try to explain how I set up all of this. So I try and make everything as absolutely organized as possible. We're not going to worry about photo stuff because this is just, fun selfies and stuff that we don't need to throw into here. Everything from this is going to be either from my Blackmagic, the GH4, or the drone. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to import, and we're going to start importing our footage. And as we import these folders into here, it's going to start popping up, hopefully. Sure. That's sad. All right. There we go. So you can kind of start seeing right here what we'll be working with. And so the main thing that I want to express to you guys is I'm not going to use the 6K sequence. I'm going to have to use my 4K sequence for this, meaning that I'm going to use the dimensions of the GH4 footage as opposed to the 6K footage, and the reason being is it's better to downscale 6K to 4K than it is to upscale 4K to 6K, because you don't gain resolution upscaling it. So we're just going to downscale the 6K down to the 4K timeline. So we're going to start importing this stuff. Give it a sec. So yeah. While we wait, hello Eric Elam. This is a editing live stream, so if you want to learn how to edit on Premiere, hang out with me for a bit, because why not? Alright, so I also want to test out, just to make sure, yep, cool. Let's test out the desktop audio. Ooh, also, after this is done, I'm going to try and check out and make sure that my audio hardware settings are good. And imports the drone and the music, and that'll be about it. And then we can get started. On to the fun part. Let's do that, and then this to do that. Cool. We be live. Huh? There we go. Alright, so now that we're getting started with this, all this is imported. I'm going to start by going to this. I'm just going to pick a random clip from this. I'm just going to throw it into here. And as I do that, it's going to create a sequence as you see here. And we're going to call this Utah highlight. And we're going to take it out of here. Maybe. Next to that. So many clips. So much stuff. Paste that there. Open this up. Alright. So that way we don't lose this sequence inside this folder. Alright, we're going to double click on this empty space again. We're going to start importing our drone stuff. Shouldn't be too much because I only got a few clips if I remember. Oh wow, I got more than I thought. If you guys ever go out to Utah, highly recommend going out to Moab. Go to Arches, which is primarily where all this footage is from. I do have some footage on here in my Blackmagic with some stuff from Zion National Park as well. So we're going to throw kind of just everything into here. So this is just a bunch of crap stuff that we don't need, so we just mainly threw this clip into here to just make this sequence. As I'm going along, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, hit me up in the chat, and I'll explain to the best of my ability. Alright, and music imports. Alright, that's it. We're done. Thank you so much for coming. Kidding. So the very first thing, I got a bunch of free music because I'm not trying to spend $50 on licensing something that's not going to make me money. So, what I already remembered. Let's go to Edit, Preferences, and Audio Hardware, because this is where the magic happens. Blah. There we go. Set that. There we go. So now we should be able to hear this. Cool. It's a bit loud for you guys. Sorry, I'm going to turn this down for you a bit. There we go. Okay. I'm about it. Next. So I wanted something that was like a slow build up because the way I wanted to start this really was with a time lapse, which I might have to like go into these files and find real quick. So yeah, all this highlight music, woo, travel, fun things. You just see this giant brick of fucking noise. I'm about it. Cool. And I really want to hear the ending for this too, because it's very important to like listen to the music beforehand. So I didn't have too much time, so I just kind of threw these into here. So to make it easy on yourself while trying to end the video, you always want to listen through the entirety of the music piece, and when you get to the end, you want to see if it ends like well, to like transition out of it. It sounds like it dims out. Okay, so let's hear the last one. Sorry, what? They ended this music with like it's supposed to like dip into something else. That's weird. I'm not gonna fixate on that. OCD shit. Okay. Um. Well, what I would say is, whoever's in the chat, give me a number between 1 and 4. Which one do you guys want to see or listen to? You guys got a minute before I pick. But I did want to leave it to you guys because audience interaction and all that. Alright, well, it just sounds like too peppy, but I kind of like this one a bit. Okay, so we'll go with this one. We'll throw that in here, put it on our line 1, and we will first do this. I'm going to hold down shift. I'm going to scroll, use my scroll wheel on my mouse. You can make this larger, smaller. And that makes all of these larger or smaller. I think if you hit control, or is it alt? Yeah, it's alt. If you hold down alt and scroll, you can just do one at a time. So we'll do that. This peaks so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to minus like, let's say 5. So this won't blow out our eardrums completely. Also, make sure that it's kind of blocked by this. Hold on, sorry. It's kind of blocked by the keyboard thing, but you always want to make sure that your headphone volume is around 50 to level out audio. Cool, 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 cool. So we got this. Cool. All right. So the next, what we're gonna do is I really, 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 really want to find those time lapses. So cool thing that I like to do is hit tilde, this little key right here that I'm hitting, as it absolutely is like, I will not respond now. Premiere, yay. Oh my gosh, it definitely didn't like that. Hilarious. Ah, haha. Anyways, we're back. Cool. Hit it once, but if you hit the tilde, it'll make whatever screen that your mouse is hovering over full screen on Premiere, which helps a lot. Here we go. So this is the first time lapse. You guys might recognize this from Facebook. I posted this particular clip maybe a month or so ago now. It's been a while. Look at all these beautiful places. Also that. I do want that. So give me this, give me this, give me that, and that. And I'm holding down control to highlight these. I'm going to hit tilde again. Find one of these. Here we go. And I'm going to start throwing these in. And delete those audio files. There's no audio in time lapses, so we'll be good with that. And that's about as long as I was thinking it was going to be. Let me turn off my phone. Always turn off your phones on set, kiddos. Do do do. Yeah. We'll talk to you later. Alright, so very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1/8. And then it stops for a sec. That's what it was. I'm like, why is it like freezing? But it's the last few frames of this, and it stops here for whatever reason. It's a nice picture. But we're going to have to splice these together. Oh, so these lights, people were asking me last time, what are these lights on that we see throughout the entirety of these time lapses? They're people just walking around, getting the same kind of shots for their photo stuff. I was out there a bit longer trying to get this time lapse. And so it's about there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock this audio channel. And then when it stops, I'm going to go to the last frame where it stops. And it looks like it stops here. I'm going to hit C, which goes to the cut. Click on that, hit V to go back. And then make sure there's nothing else in that. Cool. Pow. Go to that, hit delete again. It'll bring everything forward. Ooh yeah, look at that. There's us right there. We weren't there in the beginning of this shot, and then we're like, huh, maybe we shouldn't get attacked by mountain lions in the middle of the desert at night. So we went to the parking lot instead. And then my girlfriend and I chilled and watched Umbrella Academy, I think it was, while we waited for this time lapse to go. So it's funny, because you can see like I think these are the bathrooms. This is like the start of a trail going along here. So this particular part of the park was called the Devil's Garden because many people back in the early days uh, died trying to cross this shit. So rip to them, but super good footage. So the next thing we're gonna do is I kind of want to link these. I'm not able to link these, so whatever. We'll just keep these together. And you know what? Because I'm Anel about it, we'll make these mango colored to label that they're time lapse shots. Look at that. We're almost halfway done. So the key to editing travel highlights, especially to music, is you always want to time these shots to the music. So we'll listen to this a bit. And then we're going to stop right here. We're going to bring this in a bit. Or we don't have to lose some of this crispiness. Go to here. It's not that one. Where is it? It's this one. Yeah, rate stretch. Use the rate stretch tool to not necessarily shorten the clip, but to speed it up. And by speeding up the clip, you take off seconds of it. So we speed it up, and it'll say, yeah, about 110. So let's take a look at this now. It's going to be just a little bit faster. Should probably do this. So you know what I'm going to do instead? Because I like to make this even. Put that to 110. Put this to 110. That's going to shorten it a little bit, as you see. But now these are both, the same, so we'll be good with that. And there we go. You always want to start it like a frame before the music starts, frame or two. So you want it to start with the music. Next, and then unfortunately it was cloudy that night. I was so sad. It was so dark that uh, I didn't even notice the clouds were coming through until about like maybe an hour or two in. We got a few good. Nah, not really. We got like one good second out of that. That's super funny. I mean, it's some. And then does it stop abruptly? It does stop abruptly. Cool. Another thing to look out for. So, especially with time lapses, because you never know when that shit's gonna happen. So that's gonna be the last frame. I'm gonna stretch, not rate stretch, but I'm just gonna bring that down just a bit. Oh, that was 18 whole fucking frames too, which is puking. Makes me wanna shout. Put your hands up and shout. Come on, and shout. Alright, let's do like 106. That'll work. And then we'll do like 106. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to bring this here. And then it should be 110 again. Yep, 106. Okay, so we got that. And now there's not going to be any stutters between this time lapse. But it's still a bit meh. Hilarious. So we still got to bring it down. So let's do like 103. Sure, that'll work. We'll make this one a 103 as well. It's the little things. The little things make everything look good. So close. Yeah, it's still a bit fucked. Cool. We'll do that. And then you see this is my flashlight going back out there and seeing what's going on. Okay, let's do minus a couple frames and we'll start it. Alright, so now that we got time-lapse stuff in, we gon' do some fishing. I think we should add some drone. And go to this. I started our drone footage. This isn't Utah. This is actually, where's this? This is Colorado, I think, actually. Yay, traffic. It's just me setting up for the shot. I like to do, like, yeah, some tilt-ups to establish things. I like tilt-up drone shots. They're tight. as the kids say. However, that's not Utah. This is also not Utah. This is Colorado still. Some beautiful lake stuff. I think this is Colorado. Yeah. This is the first stop we got to in Colorado. Or, no, I'm sorry, Utah. Um, yeah, man, that was crazy. I felt bad for these people. So we get here, and these people are all sorts of salty because they're trying to fix their car, and it's definitely not cool out. It was about 108 degrees in this spot particularly. Um, yeah, desert, more desert, more desert. How do you make the desert interesting? By flying around a drone. All right. I have one specific shot that I wanted to do for this. It's like it was a tilt-up shot. It's just traveling along the road we were just at. Gotta find. I think it's this one. Oh yeah, here it is. Cool. And we're definitely gonna put this to like 1/8 because we're shooting in 4K. Hello. I think it started back here a bit more. Yeah, that's where we were. Oh yeah, look at that. Solid. Minus that. I think I fixed it a bit. Do I go in for another dive? Yeah, I do. Cool. So we're gonna start about here. And I'm gonna hit the I button to mark my endpoint. Hit play. Look at that. Pow. Just the picture looks like, not in crappy quality. And we'll give it just a few seconds. Alright, hit the O button for the out, and we're just gonna take, I usually like taking the actual like little video icon from here. So if you drag this, sometimes it'll drag the audio clip with it, but there's no audio because it's a drone. So I'm gonna do this, and it looks like this is, I need to scale this. Yeah, I shot this in C4K, so it's just a little bit different. So I'm gonna scale that in just a little bit so we get rid of the black bar. Since we scaled it in a bit too, I do want to move it slightly over to get this mountain like right in the middle of this. There we go. This is also, this isn't the actual natural color, I should say, of all this. This is in DJI log, so I'm gonna have to color correct to this. This is also needs some color correction on it. And you might be wondering, how do you color correct super darkness? Well, I'll get to that after we're done building this video. So, and usually right here I like to put in like a title or something, you know. Pause. So you want to edit to the beat, so cool. On that second like on that second one, that second done, we're gonna end that clip and we'll go to the next one. Let's move this over just a bit, and we'll lower that just a bit. Okay, so we'll up these just a little bit because I don't like fishing for this shit. You know what? I think in the same clip I did have. Yeah, I do. Cool. So what I'm gonna do is Control S. Always save. Always save. And it's not here. I think it's coming up though. I did like this orbit around this canyon. Yeah. Here it is. Put the eye on this. JK to that eye. Gonna want to do it more so like here. So you want that parallax, because this foreground and this background, whenever you see it like kind of go into itself over, I like how I point over here, you see that it adds dimension as it orbits around this canyon. We want it at the start of that orbit, so you have that nice little parallax effect. This is also ridiculously slow. So we gonna start maybe like right around here instead. And this is nowhere near a national park yet. This is just straight up Utah. Going through Utah, there's a lot of hit the O button. There's a lot of like, I'm not gonna say drop offs, but there's little viewpoints that you can kind of just mosey on off to, and you can see cool things. However, from that little parking lot, you would never be able to see something like this from that parking lot. Um, I'll show you where we were actually, because it's down here a bit. There it is. So we're right here. So from our perspective right here, facing this way, all we saw was this. Except you didn't see this drop off right here at all. It looked just like straight desert out into the horizon. So drones have a function. It's to make things look awesome and to see things you most likely won't be able to see ever from a different perspective. So that's what we all need, our different perspectives. So got that. Here's this. We're gonna do the same thing, scale, and then we're gonna blow it up because that gives a bit more room to fudge it just a little bit. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna cut here. Bring this out to here just a little bit. And we want it to be drastic. I like using jump cuts just to like make it a bit more drastic in the middle. Cut that before it gets to this, and we're gonna make it go out to here a bit more. You see it cut off just a little bit there, so I'm gonna bring it out to here. Do that, do this. Give it a sec to stop having an aneurysm. Save it every time it stutters, I always save. Ah, I'm going to edit this a bit further in. Kind of gauge from there where the music goes. Yeah. We'll start this differently. If you're stuck on a small section, go to the beginning, watch it from the beginning to give yourself the bigger perspective of the project. Because when you're trying to edit to beats, sometimes things don't work out in your head the way that they want to, so you might have to go back and just kind of repace yourself. I noticed that there. I noticed that shit. Look at that shit. Look at that shit right here. It just kind of froze on us for like a hot second, dude. Caught that, which is great. Cool, 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 cool. And the way we fix this is I'm going to use the rate stretch tool and just make it a little bit longer. What if? Bear with me. That's 20 something seconds of just straight that. We don't need that. Okay. And then that'll be about here. And do that to there. That'll be a little bit better. And then now we start it here. Just make it a bit easier. that starts a bit easier. So cool. Edit to the beat. So I know a lot of people, like whenever they're first starting, uh, trying to edit to music, what they'll do is and I'll lower the volume on this real quick. So as they're going through, they'll add markers to the beat to kind of keep them in line of like how long each shot's gonna kind of be going through. I sometimes do this. I don't always, all the time. I mean, I was just doing it without it. But if it helps you, it helps you. I know it helps a few people, so might as well mention it. Save this, Control S, all day, all the way. Lock this again. JK, not yet. We're gonna do this back up a bit. And then now we will cut to Kamura footage. Let's close that panel. Close this panel. Alright. Okay. We'll start going through these. And we'll just look through shots. This is all in, all of this stuff is in B-Raw. So we're going to have to color grade this. This is a nice little pan. You hear the car leaving. Super funny. Stutter, 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 stutter. God, it was so hot that day. Just looking at this footage, I'm like, God, that was so hot. So, okay, what I was trying to show you earlier. So if you just grab in the middle of this, it'll bring both the audio and the video snippets into into the timeline, which I don't want. I just need the video portion. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab a little video portion right here. You'll notice that it's way bigger on here than it is on here. It's because this is in 6K and we want to scale it down to 4K so it fits the timeline. Bring it in just a bit. Okay. It's a long clip. Cool. And then click on this. Let's drag that segment down. Was this one 38? So we already did 38. 39. Oh, this is wider, I think, which is what I should have done. I know. It was hot, hot, hot. You know what? I kind of like this wider version a bit better. We'll delete that part. And end that out there. Still a ginormous frickin'. Scale that down. And we'll scale up just a little bit. You know what? Instead of scaling it to frame size, I'm gonna set to frame size. There we go. That way we can keep some resolution in this. Pow. Cool. Oh man, that's what I was gonna do. I forgot about it. Whatever. I have a LUT that I should have took off my monitor to throw onto this, but we'll do that in a bit. Right now. Cut that short. Next. Yes, the rock phalluses. Everyone loves a big rocky phallus. Cool. We need that a bit smaller anyways. I don't mean for these puns. I'm sorry. And we'll keep this a bit longer. Cool. We'll do this to my 3 viewers right now. I appreciate the crap out of you. Thank you for sticking along with me for these 48 minutes and 32 seconds right now. I feel like we could, get a lot more done in the time that we do things, but maybe not. Okay, what time is it? Cool. Set to frame size 66.9. That's cool. Scale that up a little bit. Okay. Next, we'll do. That was lame. Next. This is a bit better. That wasn't too better. That's a shot. You can hear me huffing in the fucking background here. It says hot. And now to that. I like this shot though. Cut around here, so hit the I button. And hit the O button. Throw this out here. And this is another reason why I don't like using these markers, because you might not cut exactly to the beat. You might be off by 1 beat. So use markers at your own discretion, but sometimes they're a good idea, sometimes they're not. It just depends on how you want to do it. Can I just clear all these fucking markers, please? That'd be just great. That'd be just awesome. Clear. 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 For some reason I can't. I mean, I can just do that. Set frame size. And then what does this go to? This goes to 73.9. So let's do 74 on this guy. Frames. Cool. Save this. Next shot. I have a bunch on my Blackmagic, but I do want to use. Excuse me. Some GH4 footage. This is Colorado shit. That's the highway going out to there. I'm just looking for. That's Zion. To have. Oh, God. Save me ears. I'm sorry, is that what I think it is? It never fails me, dude. It never freaking fails me. Oh, every single time. Every single time I do travel highlight, there's always something on the fucking lens. No matter how much, how often I look at this fucking lens, there's shit on it, man. That blows my mind. It just happens, man. So, we'll do this, because it's still a good shot. No one's ever really noticed it in the other ones I've done, so... Small Easter egg for y'all. Throw that in. We don't have to do any scaling to this one. Alright, next. This is us traveling out to here. This was fun. Gosh, this was Zion National Park. And boy howdy did we just climb up this fucking thing in 112-degree weather. What a good time. Alright. And ooh, yes, quite. Hear me. Just fucking hear me off, and it is crazy how just ridiculously hot it was. That was just nuts. Doesn't help that I am slightly overweight. I'm not saying slightly, lightly. I'm very much so. So, cool, 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 cool. That looks good. Starting to look good. Starting to get something. So let's get the bigger picture here one more time and kind of see. I do like that the Blackmagic footage is a different color than GH4 footage. So let's look at the beginning. So immediately I need to fix this part, I think it is. Yeah, this one jumped a bit too far ahead. Cool. And we're gonna not do this on like an eighth, we'll do this on like half. Cool. So we got that so far. Looking good. Looking very good. If I do say so myself. This is good so far. Look at that, we're almost halfway done. Neato. Yeah, anytime you guys are doing a travel highlight, I really recommend. Yeah, this is about 3 minutes, 37 seconds. You can kind of see down there. So, I do recommend not picking a song that's extremely long because you definitely want to. It's a highlight. It's supposed to highlight everything. You don't want to. If you want to make a documentary, make a documentary. But I try and keep music for these kind of highlights around 3.5 to 4 minutes. 4 minutes, like if I really have a lot of footage and I want to throw it in. Um, but yeah, save yourself some work, save yourself some hours of editing, and pick a shorter song. Cool. We have so much footage to go through too. That's bonkers. All right, so next cactus, meh. Next tunnel, eh. Next and eh. Next. That was the only time this entire trip. This is the only, I shouldn't say trip, but the entire time this hike going up this mountain had freaking bars. We scrambled up this mountain. It was a slightly terrifying because there's like maybe 2.5, 3 inch gaps that you can walk alongside this mountain, and to your immediate left is instantaneous death. So my advice is to keep close, hug the mountain. Yep, that was the last. This was people taking refuse in this 112-degree day. Hilarious. I'm not gonna try and use any of this footage because it's lame. It always amazes me like just how foliage, like the flora and the fauna of this type of environment still thrive when it's like just so hot. Um, oh my goodness. Next, next, next. Uh, hmm. Okay. I hate hearing fucking me trying to catch my goddamn breath. So I want to see this part. Exit out, do this. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, it's not not a great shot. Yes. I remember going while I was going up this freaking mountain, I'm like, I will never drag this camera up a mountain again, especially with the gimbal. I kind of screwed up my gimbal too while trekking up here because as you're going up this, I mean, everything you see is just sediment and sand and fun things that are not meant for the gears and servo motors of a gimbal. So by the time we were done, I had to kind of shake sand out of my gimbal. It still works. Um, Worried me for a little bit, but it's all good. This is our refuse, I remember. I like the shot. Mainly because there's a little bit of parallax in that top right corner. We'll see how that looks. I probably have better shots though. So while we were up, yeah, while we were traveling up this mountain, some more refuse in this kind of like side cavern, chasm kind of thing. I don't even know what you'd call it. But we were able to kind of just chill here for a bit. It's a long way down. Any way you look at it. Alright, cool, 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 cool. Met all that, so let's see how this looks though. extend this on both ends so we're not. It was a bit shaky, so we'll stop that there. And you know, I swear I had some. I wonder what this 37 is. I'm sad that it doesn't. This one doesn't work for whatever reason. Doesn't help that this Blackmagic fucking thing is a bit garbage. Wait, it works on here? Wait, did it not bring in all the clips, or are these? Oh, these are all just random. Dude. There we go. I'm like wondering, why is this all out of order? Okay, cool. So, here we go. I do like the Zion shots, though, so we'll continue towards here. Oh, yeah, this guy was so cool. He's a traveling, this dude right over here. Let's see if I can get a better. Yeah, this guy. This is the shot that I wanted. This guy was awesome. He's a traveling painter, and he goes around to different landmarks and shit and just paints. And he sold this exact painting to somebody that was on the trip that he met. Crazy how the color temp difference in the shadow. Yeah, right? I do have to go through and color correct, not necessarily the black, or not, sorry, the GH4 footage. I can kind of leave together. I can dim down those highlights a bit. But yeah, all this Blackmagic footage needs graded for sure. Thank you for tuning in, Scott. Super appreciate you having here, man. Alright, we will continue with. I had a wider shot of this. Yeah. I remember what I wanted for this. Oh man, did I get a steadier shot of this, please? I did, but I think I'm gonna reverse this shot because I don't like seeing his car too much. So we're gonna do an out there. And we're here for a second. There's a bit of a wobble at the end of this. Hit the eye. And throw this into here. Set frame. Do that. And then to reverse footage, click on that and reverse speed. And then I think what I did for the close-up of this shot was here we go. I think it's another reason why I like having this matte box, or it's a variable ND matte box, so I'm able to get a higher f-stop or a lower f-stop, whichever way you call it. I've seen people call it either way, but a more open aperture to be able to get this kind of bokeh during the daytime. It's hard. You can't really do. Usually when you're shooting in the daytime without something like a variable ND, you can't really get this kind of depth of field. So having this variable ND Polar Pro has been very fun. And you know what? I think I'm gonna do. Cool. So I think I might have to unreverse this, which is fine, because I want it to Oh no, I had it right the first time. Okay, cool. That was a very gross transition. I'm gonna lock this real quick. I might just get rid of that shot. Don't need it. Don't need it. Call it a day. Pause there on that beat. Cool, cool, cool. Next shot. Oh, I think that's what I wanted to do. Such a good shot. I freaking love the Black Magic. It just looks so good. I'm definitely all about this dude's music. And then we'll drag you into here. Maybe that's what I was looking for. Oh, I know, right? It's such a good shot. I just love being able to get that depth of field, man. It's so good. Just the Black Magic, dude. Just a very talented guy. Even like going through and watching this now, I just like watching how he carefully places his strokes onto this canvas. It's so cool. So cool. So, hmm, cut that a little bit. Maybe not that drastically. Maybe just like a little bit in. So I liked that, how it racks into the beat. And then cut this to here. Rack into that. And I'll cut this just a little teeny tiny bit. Cool. Alright. Once again, we will go through this from the beginning to make sure we're still on beat, that we're still looking good. I will first Control S or Command S if you're on Mac. Always save, always save. Looking good. Awesome, I'm about it. Don't do color gradations. Oh, so that is a very fair point. The main reason I'm not doing that currently is because the difference in the color science between this DJI, the Black Magic, and the GH4 footage, if I put an adjustment layer with just standard color grading, This right here doesn't necessarily need much color grading, minus just taking down the highlights a little bit. Um, but if I were to, let's say, grade for something like this, it would start to blow out all the GH4 footage here. So that's why whenever we get to the end of this, I'm going to kind of go through each of these clips and color grade accordingly. But that's a good point. Whenever I'm on like set or we're doing like a short film or even for like the documentary stuff, paid for in pizza, be on the lookout for it. What I usually do is I'll use an adjustment layer to color grade that because I'm using the same camera. Usually, I have it record in I think it was like 5.7K or something like that, and then I'll on one layer I'll have it as a wide, and then I'll copy it to the next layer and zoom it in a bit, and then throw an adjustment layer on top of that. That way, I'm only color grading specifically just that one camera. Whenever it gets to multicam setups, um, I'll mess around with the different shots kind of accordingly, because color science between cameras and sensors is weird between different ones. They're not all the same. They're all kind of similar. They all kind of follow along the same lines, but you don't want to do something to one that you can't do to the other. Okay, so we're cool with this. Next, and we're like what, almost halfway done still? Look at that, we're getting closer to the end, my friends. It's only been an hour and 15 minutes. Woo. And then once we get this all built, we will do that color grade, do some final tweaks. I'll add in like titles and cool transitions. Whoa, maybe. I mean, I'm not that Parker Walbeck person where I do these fancy flippy transitions and shit. I feel like the footage should be able to speak for itself rather than having to rely on flashy transitions to make the piece flashy. But as everything, each tool has its own use. Transitions are tools, and I won't rag on them too much. Also, Parker Walbeck is a cool dude. He has a lot of good content. Check him out. All that fun stuff. Yada yada. Yada yada. Alright, painting things. You know what? Just because I am curious, I would like to just throw this. Huh. Come on now. This isn't the right LUT, but it's kind of like it. Turn down the saturation just a little bit. It looks good. Turn up the exposure just a tinge. That looks really cool. Color grading's fun. Very dark blacks in this. Alright, we'll save that for later though. Do. Let's go back to Blackmagic because we be trying to use some more Blackmagic footage. Which one was this? This was 15, so we'll go find 15 on here. Go to 16. Use that one. Go to 17. More of this guy. Very cool. This is me trying to get different focuses and shit on this, but I think we're good on this guy for a bit. Fun dude. Ah. There we go. What's up, Premiere? That's why we always save. That's why we always save. We'll give it a sec. Sometimes it just likes to be a little pissy. Give it a minute. Well, where are we at? 106-ish. It's another reason why it's good to... Here it is. Turn on your autosaves, folks. Last one is at 44. So that was 4 minutes ago. We didn't do much else. Played with some color a bit. For some reason, Premiere's always weird whenever you go into the coloring tab. It's another reason why I kind of like using DaVinci for color grading. For something like this, I'd rather just kind of do it all in here and get it done. Cool. So thanks, Premiere. We only had one crash this session. I'm gonna I think for the next session I'm gonna have like a crash counter. Guy on a bike. Alright. And look at that, we're back where we started. Back in editing. Cool. Alright. So next we'll go to 17. Didn't lose too much time on that, which is great. It's another reason why you should always, always, always save as much as possible. I cannot stress that enough, ever. Literally make it muscle memory to Control S. Control S all the time. Especially after doing, like, a lot of stuff. Don't always rely on your autosaves, because even with autosaves, you might still lose important bits. Especially when it comes to, like, keyframing and shit. I've done lots of projects where it crashes in the middle of me spending so much time tediously keyframing things and images and stuff like that, and then it crashes, and I'm like, damn it, because I have to do it all over again, spend all that time. So, all right, I think we're like halfway through this. I'd rather mostly stick to arches, because Zion was beautiful. Don't get me wrong, Zion was amazing, but the bulk of our trip was arches. And that's 37, where it was like meh. And this is arches, which is what we started editing. Saw that little guy out there. What does that say? Oh, viewpoint. Here's an arch. Well, yeah, that's an arch. Way far out. Not that I need that. I don't need that. Unimpressive. Spires. Tilts. Pans. Focuses. Things that didn't look too great. I'll try this. Nope. More rocks. I already have that same kind of shot already, so we're not doing that. Oh, here's the landscape arch. That's dope. We have... These people are cool. We'll talk to them for a little bit. I think we have one closer, though. Oh, this is a rack focus between the two. Ugh. There we go. Alright. We'll try that. Throw it in. Meh. Cool. That works. And next. Right underneath that same one, but you can't really tell too bad. I think I got the same shot a few different times. Arches. I got a lot of really cool shots here at night too. We'll start from here. There's a trail that led like all the way out there and behind this thing and around this shit. Cray. 'Twas all cray. 'Tis all cray. Set that. 74. Actually, did I set this one? I didn't. Haha, I'm like, I thought this was wider. Hilarious. Ooh. Hmm. We already used all of these. But I kind of just want to see how this looks. Huh. I like it. I'm gonna have to. I don't really want to reset all of this, so. We're not. But I like it. It's so interesting how that is. Shooting star. Lots of shooting stars. Made a lot of wishes over the course of that week. Even like when we do the color grading for this, it's going to be very interesting to see how it pulls the highlights in for all this, because it was bright. Every day was pretty bright. And then, I mean, I guess. Nope. Stutter. Wow. You can hear. I'm going to turn this up for you guys to hear. That small humming that you guys hear, that's the camera. It was working very hard trying to keep itself going in that hot ass weather. Super funny. Cool, 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 cool. Set that. Do that. 74 of that. Cool. Save. Just a little tinge of a wobble at the end. Which will be fine. What was this? Oh, we never came back to that and did that, huh? So, this part right here is called the fiery furnace, and you can't really see it because it's not color graded, but there's a lot of red in this stone. Um, and whenever the sun sets, it sets over here, casting a lot of red light onto this, and they named it the fiery furnace because all of these rocks light up red, and it looks like flames, essentially. There's also a really, really hard trail leading into this too. I'm going to stop it about here. Started about here. I swear I had more footage for the GH. Huh. Well, GH5 will save us. Cool. Do that. Do set 74. This is a bunch of clustery crap because this is all squished in a bit. I don't usually have this too much extended, mainly because I'm not keyframing anything right now, so yeah, that's workable. Here we go. So this is very slow. Very, 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 very slow grade. So about 115. I don't really go past 115 because it starts to look kind of too fast. But if you ever have a pan that's too slow, you might want to just speed it up a bit. Cool. Huh. I don't think I used this shot yet. What is this on 48? What's this? This one is 64. Okay, cool. Die on that. Hilarious. Set. Hut. Hike. Okay. I'm gonna put this down just a bit. Okay. So, an hour and a half in. Doing pretty good. We're almost there. A little bit over halfway. Let's go through footage we don't have really much of. Oh, I know what I did there. I'm like, what is this shot when I was first looking at it? You can really tell the lens breathing on this lens too. That's why I use a cinema lens, but my bread and butter is a 17 to 70 contemporary Sigma lens. Which is a photo lens. So I'm just trying to. There we go. Cool. Trying to figure out where the lens starts breathing so I can get this clip. And we'll switch these around a bit. I want to insert some drone footage here. And then after we do that, it's got a lot of drone footage. This is all from the end of that. Did I not import that card? I don't think I imported that card. It's fine, we can just do this anyway. Do a nice little tilt-up shot. You can never go wrong with a nice tilt-up shot. Yeah, gravy. Stuttery, great, cool. I'm gonna save. And yes, this is a clip we used in the past, but it's a different part of that clip. This is actually like on the way out to see that first shot that we did with that. This is on the way out to see this, but it's desert. Can't really tell. What's this in? So this is, let me go to properties for this. This is in 24 frames, so we can't slow it down too much. I can maybe go to 90% on this guy, but yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Usually when you try to slow down 24 frame per second footage, it gets a bit stuttery. Mainly because it doesn't have those frames to really make something slow-mo. I mean, the more frames you have, the more frames of reference you can use to make things go slower. Unfortunately, there's only 24 frames. You can't really elongate them too much without it becoming like super stuttery. Like, for instance, let's do something like this. Speed duration. If we set this even down to like 75, you can see it stutters a little bit. You don't want that, so I do 90 for 24 frames. Whenever, like, even for like 30 frames, I go to maybe like 85% speed. When it gets to like, when you start shooting at like 60 frames per second, I usually go down to, at the minimum, like 65%. You don't want to go too low because you don't want it to look very stuttery. This was in 24 frames because my Mavic Pro does the C4K, which is that 4096, right? Yeah. 4096 by 2160. So this is Cinema 4K. And this is the highest resolution it can go, which is what I needed in order to match with this Blackmagic and the GH4. But because it was in such a high resolution, the highest I can go is this 23.976, which is fine. It looks good. I'll keep it at 90. Okay. Alright. Let's watch this thing from the beginning real quick. Because things are uniform and then it starts getting wacky over here, so let's see how this plays out. do the opposite. I'm gonna reverse this clip so it'll rack focus to those rocks from that. We'll tighten this up just a little bit. Bring this out just. You always want to leave a frame behind where the beat is, so it leads into the music. Looks a bit better. Alright. Cool. And alright. So we will. Sorry, just checking stream things. Earthen's cool. Cool. Maybe. Alright. Interesting. Okay. So, now that we got all this good, it's looking good, it's starting to look good, we will go back to the GH4 footage. Let's find the last GH4 shot we did. So, yeah, it looks like this is the last one we did. So this is 516, yeah. So we'll go down here, find 516. It's the last one we did. Maybe. Oh, this was like a kind of a jumbled mess anyway. I was first editing this part. Yeah, it's hot. I didn't get any. Let's save this. Yeah. We're huffing. We're puffing. That was a bad shot. This is already there. Nothing I want. So this was what the inside of, where is it? It's the inside of here. So for this shot, go out to here. This is what that little crevice looks like in the middle. So yeah, we'll start it here because this is, I'm pretty sure, stationary most of the time anyway. Cool. Crinkling. Next shot. I think that was like maybe the halfway point too, going up that mountain. Me trying to get these shots while trying not to fall off of a cliff. That was great. That was a good time. Yes, the tree of life here. The I button. Cool, 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 cool. Way to hold that shot. What a man. I'm sorry, what was that sound? Ugh. What the fuck? That sounds nasty. Sounds like it's a, that's nasty. Whatever. Oh man. Clock wipes rule. Do every 5 minutes. I do Colorista and it's pretty good to me. Nice. Colorista's great. I haven't used it too much. I knew a few people that do use it and they like it a lot. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, cool. Next. Need to find a good shot. Mm-hmm. This is the top point of this, which was magnificent. Look at that valley. Another shot of this. Dying.
It was 70 something degrees too.
Yeah, right. She was referring to Yellowstone, where we weren't traveling too far up mountains and it was only 70 some degrees compared to this day, which was just bonkers.
Yellowstone was 70 something degrees too. Huh? Yellowstone
Yeah,
Yellowstone was 70 something degrees too.
Trying to get this shot dry, not to die. Let's do this. Cut off that end a bit. Cut off. And then gross noise. We'll do this here. Oh, excuse me. And then we'll take this. Such a good shot. So in order to get to this side of the park, we did drive through here, which was a very good time. Mountain driving is so much fun. Start about there. We'll start about here. Yeah, who needs a drone shot? Especially in a national park. Who needs a drone shot? God, why am I shaking so bad? Yeah, I'm gonna use this part. It looks a bit better. to. So I think I might that's one frame. Alright. We're almost there. We can see the finish line. So close. We'll probably end it. Cut off the last couple of those. Do that. JK, don't need a constant power. We will do that crossfade and exponential fade. Cool. You want it to fade out long enough for it to sound a bit more natural. Oh, man. Long, long day. Cool. Got that. Yeah, that was the very first time lapse where it was like, yeah, let's not do that. Cool, we don't need that one. Oh no, I think this is where I'm like, shit. Fucking. There we go. Wow. So, at this point, I went to go and I took my gimbal for this one, and it died straight up, just died when we got about to there, and then I had to do handheld shots. I'm not sure about these handheld shots. Oh, God, fuck all of that noise. Oh man, I hate handheld shots now. You try to be steady, but it's like, nah. Yeah, I can't do that. No bueno. You see my fucking case there? Boy, howdy.
I like to get a shot between this.
Yeah. Cool. Next. Save this. So, no to these shots. And it's in 4K, so I could probably warp it. So this is, I'm pretty sure, the back side of this one. Maybe? Yeah. Fun shots. And then this is with a gimbal again. Why is it so shaky? This is on a gimbal, dude. Balance your gimbals, people. I'm a dumbass. So super hardy rip to that. If you guys want to learn something.
I feel like I can walk stronger. Is that anything?
Oh my gosh, dude, I'm so salty. These were great shots, too. It looks like I'm hand holding it, too. That's so bad. I'm salt. The tilt is okay. It looks like. So that one's not terrible. Salty at myself. So I'm pretty sure that's towards the end of the footage. Need my fucking hat. Ugh. just don't understand how I didn't notice this shit. Alright, we need to figure out how to not.
Cool.
Okay. So, can use that. That's fine. There we go. Make these clips fucking short as fuck. Dying. And it looks like shit, dude. Oh my gosh. Oh, that reminds me. I was supposed to have a 3S that just came in today, but I'm not sure when I actually dropped that off. Let's check FedEx. Being the curious person I am. Said it was supposed to be here today. Changed a bit. Bastards. Oh, what? Said it was supposed to arrive today, now it says it's pending. Sad rip. Anyway, even more sad rip to all this footage that is now too shaky to fucking use. But this stuff was fine. All this kind of out of focus fucking shit. I think the majority of all of this is just hearing me fucking huffing and puffing. If you want to go to the gym with me, let me know. Hit me up. Yeah. Just dying. Ugh, I'm so sad. It's fine. I tell myself. Because there's a thing called a warp stabilizer that should never be used fucking ever. But if this is in 4K, so it might work. Who knows? I just don't want to have to try and stabilize all of this. That would just be gross. Alright. It's not terrible. 3 minutes. Great. Super. Stabilize. And if this one looks good, then we'll try with a few other clips and stabilize that nonsense. I just hate how it warps this shit sometimes, but man, what gimbal did I use for that? I have three of them. Yeah. I have the Zhiyun Crane 2, the 2S, and the Weevil Lab. Or the Weevil Lab. And the 3S Pro was supposed to come in today, and now it's like not. I think I used the Weevil Lab for this particular hike. Huh. Well, stabilize your gimbals, kiddies. That's all I can say. We definitely want to let this do its thing, because if you go over and start messing with other shit while it's doing this, sometimes it'll stop the warp stabilization process. And you'll have to wait here again. It's already halfway done, so we'll chill. Anybody watching still that wants to hit me up in the chat right now is a good time to do so. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, death threats, marriage proposals, shit like that. If anybody's actually watching still. Clock wipes rule. Super funny. Each one has their own purpose. Wipes are usually reserved for Star Wars. But if you can make it work, man. How about it? Good time to check these stream health things. Got polls here, got a bunch of bullshit. You'd think it would say, like, how many people are actually, like, watching. Say la vie. One person. Awesome. To the one person chilling. I love you. So. Nice. Not too bad. Okay. Whew. Okay. We can work with this. It's just going to take a little bit more time, but, you know, we're already 2 hours into this, so why the fuck not? Let's scroll back down through these, because I know there's a few shots I definitely wanted to use. Putting out on that. Put an eye on that. Man. That worked out a lot better than I thought. I'm slightly happier. Slightly. I'm still pissed off at myself about this fucking gimbal. But as I say to everybody with everything, if this is the worst thing to happen to me today, it's still a pretty good day. Love those reveal shots. I'm gonna boot it. Gross things. I don't want people in this shit. I think this is that. Ugh. That's way too fucking shaky to do anything about. This is a bit better. This is a bit better. Alright. And we'll do this. Now I'm just kind of going through shots and being like, will this work? Will this work? Will this work? Okay. This. See how this goes. Because these clips are smaller now, it's not going to take as long to warp stabilize these. Just hate having to stabilize this shit, dude. Huffing and puffing. And then we'll do about here, actually. There's an O to that. That's why you shoot in 4K. That's an arch, huh? Super funny. And okay, so now we stabilize all this nonsense. Like, I'm very surprised at how this looks. Alright, so hooey, 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 Rick. Let's do this. Let's do it up. Let's go to the stab. It's only 212 frames. Chill on this a bit. Call it a day. After we get some color correcting done. Then we'll be out to exporting. Woo woo. Just trying to think of like the last good shot for this. Oh. I have that. Maybe. I have a bunch of drone shit, so gotta be something here. Had this. This wasn't a very good shot though. This is like at our campsite. My drone was like hating me for some reason that day. It's like, you want to do something, you're not going to. Oh, man, I really wish that dude would have sent me those shots. That would have been so cool. I saw another dude with a drone that was staying at the same campsites that we were, and he has the Phantom, the DJI Phantom 3 with I think 2.5K 1440p sensor camera on it. And the cool thing about his is a bit more of a dummy drone from what I saw, where it gave him a bit more access to be able to fly around. And so let's see how this is going. Still going. So it gave him more access to fly around, so he was able to essentially get over these mountains that I was trying to get over myself, but because of the Mavic Pro and how it works, everything's integrated into the app, and the app will limit you on based on like where you are. Uh, it'll limit how high you can fly. So he was actually able to get over and past these mountains here, whereas I was probably only able to, if I can find that footage. Let me see if I can. Yeah, this is about as high as I could fly. It was like right around here ish, like nowhere close. So I might just end it with this footage though, just because it looks pretty. Still looks good. It's Moab. It was interesting because sunset was still like another like 45 minutes, but to us, the sun had already set because it went behind the mountains. So as soon as you got to, man, I wish I had that footage. When he showed it to me, it was just as dark as this, but when he got to the other side of this mountain, it was just bright as day again. That was sad. I wish I could have got that shot. But whatever. Let's see how this turned out. It does not look great. So we got whatever. 106 frames. This shouldn't be too long. And then for this, I'll put the O here. I'll do this. Bring it out to here. And then we'll bring you out to here-ish. And then I'm not sure if I have that, but I do have my title card. Not sure where it is. Where is it? I think it's in my car. Ha! Yeah, I'll have to throw it in later. So we're going on 2 hours and 12 minutes, which is cool with me. Man. So what happens? You click out for a second, it's like, nah. So try it again. Doodly doo. Alright, well. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Or a wonderful night, I should say, so far. Today's been very long. A couple of meetings, a shoot. Had some family time, which was awesome. And, yeah, now I'm doing this. Still doing this. And that one looked fine. This one will look fine, too. It's just like the super, like, movie shots, I should say. Not like movie as in like film, but like anything that was like super moving like this. I'm like trying to get under this frickin' log and shit. You definitely notice the subspace warp in that. But for wider shots like this, you hardly notice it at all, which is what I want. Warp stabilize. If only my fucking gimbal worked. We literally just need these last two stabilized and we'll be done. Minus color grading, but that takes a second. I don't spend too much time trying to grade it. I just make sure it's white balanced and that it matches with all the other footage. Um, but other than that, don't really dwell on it too much. Stabilize. So this looks. God, this was so shaky. We'll see it, man. We'll see it. More chillin'. More chillin'. Chillin' like Krillin. So while it's doing that, we'll watch from the beginning. Make sure it looks good. Make sure we like it enough still. Man. Do. Okay, so we're gonna go back to here. Oh, I see what I did. Okay, never mind. Gross noises. Get that little bit off of there. Stretch that back out. time. I just need to do a little bit, add a little bit of flavor to it. Do that. We'll do that, and we'll do this, and then we'll do this instead. Or, you know what, let's throw this over here. Give it that. Let's see how that looks. Oh yeah, it looks good. That's fine, that's fine. So right here and here I also have to do the warp. So I'm also going to do that. Rely on that shit. Stabilize. Nice. Got that done. Okay, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's not the best, but it's not terrible. So we got this one, and then these two little guys right here. Stabilize, then we can get to color grading. And then we'll do a final look through, tighten up shots a bit, and then we'll be done. And then we can export the pretty project. Gotta say, this turned out pretty good. Minus the ripperoonie of the unstabilized shots, but can't win them all. Work with what you got. What do we got on this? A minute left on that. Alright, cool. So we'll just go back to this and so salty about those shots, but it's whatever. Tis whatever. I'll cut to my card. That'll be it. Oh boy. So what time is it? It's only 10. I get to do some more editing after this too. Yay. Which is usually my life. Which is fine. I like editing enough. The thing I have to do next is just some corporate stuff. Literally just some fine-tuning stuff according to the client. This will be like the 7th final version of sending it out to them, so I'm gonna just be like, yo, if you want some more, pay up. Because I'm not trying to do any more revisions for free. Always, always, always include in your contracts a revision clause of one free revision. The second one costs more. If they don't like something about it, then they can make an entire list for you to fix on that next one. Otherwise, you'll end up like me, which it still happens too. And you'll be editing 5 different final versions, and you're going to be like, what is life? Looking good, dude. I'm about it. Then it'll dip slowly to black. Slowly to black. Dippy doo. And then we'll add my card here. We'll go back to these. We'll add that. That warp right here. Speed can't be used in the same clips. I'm sorry, what? Oh, I mean, I suppose. Let's do that. Yeah, we'll do analyze that. This one will only take a second. Ah, great idea, Premiere. We're gonna save this. Premiere has such good ideas. Oh man, we're almost done with this, guys. I'm so pumped about it. It only took about 2.5 hours, which is nice. Very nice. Cool. Alright. As we wait, unless it's done already. I don't think it's done already. No. To the one person that's still watching, mucho appreciated. Let's make sure this looks semi-decent before just being like, cool, we're done. Yeah. We'll do it. Do that. We'll get to the color grading. We'll save. And how much is this going to take? Lots of waiting around. That's what happens. I cannot believe they didn't fucking deliver my stabilizer today. I am semi-salt. But that's just impatient Jake talking. Let's click on this, clear that, because we don't need that. I was about to say if it canceled this fucking thing right before it was done, that'd have been salt. I'm sorry, what are you now? And why are you now? That's weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, cool. So we got this stabilized and basically done. So let's go through and do some color correcting real quick. Make it easy. Throw up our scope. There's not going to be much scopes for these few first things. Just because it's dirk. It's a bit dirk out. This thing does not like it. Not about it. Yay color grading. Yay Premiere. Whatever. There we go. Okay, so we got this selected. We're not going to import any LUTs onto it. The only thing that I really need to do is clean up the grain in this, and the easiest way to do that is just to drop the blacks just a little bit to hide it. Increase the exposure just a bit. Increase the contrast a little bit. I'll increase the highlight just a little bit. Increase the whites a little bit just to see the stars. That looks okay. Cool. And then this is before, this is after. Nothing super crazy. Control C, Control V onto the next one, Control V onto this one too. These are all shot using the same settings for each night. And then this one. Looks like I got some fucking dead pixels or some shit. Alright, so this is the first thing we're actually going to have to throw some actual grading onto. First thing we're going to do is up the contrast. This is in log. Up the sat a little bit. You know what? We'll edit this one first because this will be a bit easier. Cool. Bring the highlights down just a little bit. Bring the whites down just a little bit. Crush the blacks just a little bit. Bring up the highlights a bit more. Okay. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna saturate it just a little bit. Just make it pop out a bit. So before, after. Cool. Alright, sweet. So I'm gonna take the Lumetri color from this clip, Control C, delete it from the previous one, and apply it so it's the exact same color temp. And we'll go to this next one, pow. Next one, pow. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Looking good. Add that. And then we get to Blackmagic footage. Yay. Which is going to be interesting for sure. We'll do something like this. Do the log to Rec 709 and bring down the saturate. No. Bring down the contrast a bit. And bring down the... Okay. Then we're going to copy this. Go to this one, paste, and since this one's zoomed in a bit, I'm going to have to do that. Cool. this one will probably be the exact same as this. And I'm going to bring highlights down on this one just a little bit. And then this one is the GH4 footage, so I just need to bring out the highlights in this just a bit. So it's very overexposed. I'll increase the contrast and the saturation just a little bit, which I might actually do for this as well, but not by much. Just do like 105. Let's do like 105 to that. And 105 to that. Cool, so this is for that. Alright. Alright, and this is for this, so it's pretty well light balanced, which is good. Increase contrast, JK. We'll do the log, track 709. We're actually going to bring out the contrast a little bit, and we're going to bring out the darkness just a tinge. We're going to increase the exposure a bit. Maybe introduce this back in a little bit. And Control C that. Control V this. Bring down that a bit. Bring down the highlights just a bit. Might bring down the white just a little bit. So, before, after. Super cool. Alright, next up is this one. Give it that. This is a bit green, so I'm going to have to bring this over a little bit, bring you over a little bit, make the sky a bit more blue. But we want to keep the red in the tone of the rock. About there. About there. Yep. Cool. And we'll do this. Alright. this is fucked up this white balance a bit. The highlights are so blown out. Still supremely overexposed, so I'm gonna drop it down to 2. What the hell was I thinking? All this fucking green, dude. Take it away, take it away. Get rid of these highlights, dude. It's like the surface of fucking Mars. This one's actually a bit. Click on one of you guys. That. There we go. Save all this. Okay. So I'm going to bring the highlights down in this just a little bit. Let's find the first footage that we did. This one is 31. So we'll go to back to here. Where I initially was color grading this stuff. Control C that. $31. Pow. That one. This one. That one. And with this, it was a bit hazy that day, but definitely want to increase saturation on that. Increase the shadow a little bit. Make it a bit more Control C, Control V to U. V this. V this, except we're gonna change the color temp on this just a tinge. And then I need to take U and do that, except bring up the brightness just a tinge. Control save, because we're good on all this color, so we're going back to the set editing tab where things are a bit more fucking stable. And we're done. We're done with like the bulk of it. So last thing I need to do, because we're done with grading, we're done with the small warp stabilizer things that we had to do. Ugh. I think what I'm gonna do is just add this real quick. Utah. Go to this. Just to make my buddy's girlfriend mad, I'm gonna use Futura. If I have it. Do I have it? I don't, dude. Nice. Oh man, that's great. So we'll use, because fonts are important. Very important. See, I don't like any of these, dude. Where did all my fonts go? I thought I had some good ones in here. So you always want to scale it up like this. Do semi-bold. What does bold look like? A bit too bold. Let's do semi-bold. And take you. Put you on the second one. And then holding down Alt here, clicking and dragging, putting it to the time marker, and we're going to name this one 2020, and we're actually going to bring this right under it, to the right of it, just a bit. Cool. Now these are both very much. So Fat Rip did the wrong one. It's okay. It's okay, it's okay. That's all I'm going to do for that, because I don't need anything flashy for it. Oh, what, 6K footage is fine, but throwing 2 fucking words and you start to shit your panties. Cool, I'm about it. Alright, we're done. I just have to find my title card, and I will be exporting this, so keep an eye out for it. I might change some small tweaks here and there, but this is the bulk of it. For the one person that stuck around for this entirety of this, I appreciate the crap out of you. Thank you all so much for watching. The first of many simple edit sessions. I hope you guys learned something from watching me fuck around and edit for 2 hours and 52 minutes and 25 seconds. So with that, I will say adios. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.